Hey YouTube, one of the reasons that I decided to try my hand at this was, of course, I saw a lot of good content coming from the internet, coming from outlets like YouTube, just from people, professional and otherwise, that simply get up here and talk about stuff. When you enjoy a medium, you want to try your hand at it, that sort of thing. And one of the things that I caught while doing my favorite thing, which is listening to podcasts and watching YouTube stuff, is Adam Carolla said something to the effect of, hey, why don't these artists just come out and say it? Why do they have to go through the roundabout way? And while, as someone who writes and who is attempting to study music, I do want to bring forth concepts in a certain artsy way, sometimes there is a great value in just going ahead and saying something. And that little snippet from Adam Carolla's podcast that I heard quite a while back stuck in my mind. And it's those little jewels, those little nuggets that are the reason that I listen and really pay attention to the information that comes from all these various sources, because it can really flip a switch like that. So I've had this idea mulling about in my head, and finally it came to fruition. So as I got pretty caffeinated, because my friend and I were trying to figure out some technical issues earlier, I'm still awake at 3:39 a.m., and I wrote a little essay. And this essay is about this idea that needs to just go ahead and be said, because I've been looking at ways to say it and also feel it's important to be said. But I laid it out here. Basically, it's the fact that continuity is important for psychological health. Having something that you chip away at will definitely enrich your life. It'll bring back memories and give you a context. I know it's not the most thrilling thing. Please just use this as background. You don't even have to watch the video portion of it. But I'm going to go ahead and read the essay I wrote, because I want to reach as broad an audience as possible with this. I'll be posting it to my blog/webzine called The Fractal Journal. And basically, here I go. Continuity and psychological health. It has been 3 years now since I launched myself on my water project. While it is far from complete, due to the myriad duties and distractions of life, I have been able to accomplish much. I read about 3 full-length nonfiction books, took detailed notes, attempted to write various essays, published and deleted YouTube videos, debated a few folks about water use, and talked a lot about the project in hopes of using shame to motivate myself in bringing my book and series to full fruition. With all these things, and while all these things were interesting and healthy in their own right, there is another realization that's made itself more apparent with the passage of time. That realization is that continuity is essential for psychological health and a rich life. It's far more important than money, romance, or fun. As I'm vigorously throwing myself back into this project, there are memories and realizations brought to life by the material I'm reviewing and the familiar beat of this project. It gives me a certain context, a certain sense of place that is essential for idea generation and for feeling alive. Having something stir your imagination, your mind, and your spirit simultaneously is rare indeed. It's very easy to become a wispy thing that gets depressed or manic or just simply experiences ennui if one does not have continuity. By continuity, I here mean the flow of goals, the rhythm of life. The flow of goals sounds vaguely corporate. And not that it's wrong to be corporate necessarily, but there's something beyond the hackneyed praise of diligence that I wish to convey here. There is something peculiar to human nature, something in knowing that although things are rather mutable, and you can't hold on to them forever, that despite that, you must tend and you must cultivate. You know deep down that if the hunt's not complete, whether the hunt's real or metaphorical, then you and yours are lost. That's not to say that the world is merely about survival or productivity. Life is also about enjoyment. However, I would argue that due to the peculiarities of human nature, the best sort of enjoyment can only come by long-term engagement with certain aspects of reality. Certain aspects that will be of different import for different people in different circumstances. But that which once found must be loved and cultivated. The result of this is a freedom from nihilism, from ennui, from certain materialistic traps. It ennobles the material world by imbuing spirit through care for matter and for the faculties that facilitate that care. The mind is not meant to function in a vacuum. Long-term projects and the well-developed sense of place and memory that arise therefrom are a veritable supernova of context and zest for life. Go forth and commit. And that was pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed that and found it helpful. I am certainly excited and full of zest for life myself because, hey, everything is interesting if you pay attention. There's a certain magic that comes through cultivation. And I'm not trying to judge anybody or shame anybody. There's no implications here. It's very easy to get bored with things and to fall out of the cycle of keeping up with them. I mean, this project I'm talking about, I've obviously lost some track with, though I have been chipping away at it slowly but surely. And that has really led me to realize that, hey, the fact that I was doing that, once I started doing it again, I remembered all of the books that I'd been reading and the memories and life experiences that were happening during the course of that project. And not only did it help to cement the information and the knowledge that's pertinent to the project itself, but it helped to cement a certain sense of place and excitement about life and the passage of time that wasn't depressing or sad, and that, hey, we're all eventually going to end up dead, but in the meantime, there's this beautiful garden out here. So let's cultivate it. Thanks so much for listening and have a great time wherever time finds you. Goodbye.